Hi, my name is Paige Smith. Here is a little presentation about this internship opportunity available for marriage and family studies majors at the Dibble Institute. The Dibble Institute puts together education resources that can be used to teach adolescents relationship skills. This particular internship is great because it can be taken from everywhere. It's an online internship, so you don't have to worry about moving somewhere, being away from your sweetheart, or whatever else you might be worried about. Because it is an online internship, you have amazing flexibility. You can get your 10 hours in a week while you are eating breakfast or rocking your baby to sleep or hanging out with friends and so forth. Finding this internship was a very easy process. Since I was moving to a new state, I knew that I wouldn't have a car for a while. I was in a bit of a bind about what internship I should do. Between not knowing what work would be available where I lived and not having any way to get to said internship, it seemed like doing an online internship would be the best option. When looking for an internship, I recalled how Brother Gardner mentioned that there was an online internship available while I was taking the Family 150 Intro to Marriage and Family Studies course. I networked with Brother Gardner a little bit to figure out who the internship was with and who to contact. He told me that it was the Dibble Institute and that I should contact Aaron Larson. I actually ended up going to the Dibble Institute website and going through the contact message application under the contact tab on their website. I simply introduced myself, saying I was a student from BYU-Idaho and that I wanted to know if there were any opportunities for internships for the semester I'd be doing mine. I actually ended up doing this in the fall, which was 2 semesters before my internship was actually going to take place, which is usually when they recommend that you start looking for an internship. When I sent the message, I actually got a message back directly from Aaron Larson, who was the internship supervisor. He responded personally to the message, and we worked out everything from there. After getting in touch with Aaron, I sort of just followed the directions for arranging the internship that are available on the webpage for BYU-Idaho's Department of Home and Family. The particular information that is useful to you is actually further down the page in the section called What You Need to Register for Your Internship. The directions require that you go to Career Navigator and submit an application. Ensure that your internship provider completes the master agreement and so forth. It is crucial that when you input the name of this internship, you actually put in the National Healthy Marriage Institute instead of the Dibble Institute. Aaron Larson, the supervisor that you work with, although he works directly with the Dibble Institute and all of your work will be for the Dibble Institute, you'll actually be doing it under the National Healthy Marriage Institute because that is his organization. And because you're working under him, you work under his organization, I guess. But I guess it just works. And so the master agreement that BYU-Idaho has set up with Aaron, it's called National Healthy Marriage Institute. But all the work that you'll be doing will be for the Dibble Institute. Most of my responsibilities were all in support of creating resources for the education programs the Dibble Institute is developing. The majority of the internship consisted of putting together PowerPoint presentations for 2 of their programs. One program was Healthy Choices, Healthy Relationships, and the other was Connections, Dating and Emotions. I would take the templates from the presentations and add appropriate media to it, usually from Big Stock, which is like a huge database for just pictures and stuff. In some cases, I would review some of the lesson materials associated with the presentations, and if I felt I would kind of tweak it to make it more relevant to adolescents and add certain more important information, things like that. As part of another thing I got to do is as part of the development of their Love Notes program, I was recruited to find and cite peer-reviewed journal information for the textbook they were putting together. It was great because I actually had an opportunity to work with people besides Aaron and stuff at the Dibble Institute, and so it was really great to work with other colleagues. I had an awesome opportunity also to work on movie guides. The particular movie guide I got to work on was for Disney's Frozen, which who doesn't love Frozen, right? Movie guides are created to be used by adolescents as they view movies in order to make meaningful connections about themselves as well as their relationships with others. So, like as they go through the movie, as the story progresses, certain questions that are associated with a particular part of the movie, they'll have an opportunity to answer that question, and it's usually a little bit of soul searching. They get to make meaningful connections about their relationships with others and their dreams and ambitions and their attitudes, stuff like that. Another thing I got to do, I got to make a printable workbook version of the Love Notes program activity book, which was really great because it made it more available to those who would be using the Love Notes program. The Love Notes program is great because it's directed towards young parents, and so it gives them the opportunities to develop the skills and make appropriate decisions about what they're going to do with their child's with the parent that they created the child with, and things like that. So that was a really neat thing to do. And from time to time there would just be little random tasks that Erin would need me to get done. One time I had to organize one of the pages on the website and things like that. So yeah, just like little things like that. So that was really cool. Benefits from working here. It was a great practical experience working with other professionals and creating program materials. If you're going to the field of family life educator, this kind of experience is especially relevant. The material was very relevant to the coursework for this major, since most of the courses stress all kinds of skills that are useful in relationships, especially in the relationships that are intimate, like dating and marriage and family. The opportunity to apply what we've learned throughout the time at BYU-Idaho is very bountiful. Just like any other internship, there's a great opportunity to apply professionalism and what we've learned beyond the classroom. Practicing skills for the real work world are practiced in the internship regularly, so it's a really great experience for that. Flexibility is a huge plus, like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. I would also like to add that Erin is very understanding, so if you ever need basically you get to do it on your own terms for the most part, and Erin is very flexible about that. He'll reassure you. He's very nice about it. And then also, working on these materials is huge because they're going to be used by thousands of adolescents and young adults across the country. It's an opportunity to be a part of something that makes a meaningful difference in the lives of others and bring success in their personal relationships. It's very satisfying. I personally benefited because, for reasons that I stated previously, but I also would like to say a couple other reasons. It was really great to develop my own skills for professionalism and feel like I could do something in this field of work. It seems a little bit discouraging at times when I feel like I can't really do something with this major without pursuing a master's degree. But this internship has really helped open my eyes at the opportunities that are available, and the meaningful difference that I hope to make in the world seems a bit more like a reality for me. I also realized that this internship is something I actually am a part of, something that I really love doing. My choosing this major and this career path, it's something that I'm passionate about, and so I get to do work that I enjoy, which I think is paramount when choosing a career. And if you're going to do something, you really need to be passionate about it. And so that's what I found in this internship. One of the connections that I made between coursework and internship, you have an opportunity to make a journal throughout each week during your internship, and you make connections between your coursework and what you're doing in your internship. And this one I'm going to share with you is actually from the last week of my internship. I was working on the Connections and Dating Emotions program, and there's a segment that discusses how in a relationship, each member in a partnership must make intentional efforts to strengthen that relationship. If in Family for 30, family and community relationships, we have the opportunity to learn about intentional families. Intentional families aren't those who just kind of let the days go by and passively interact with one another and so forth. Intentional families are ritualizing families. They make meaningful efforts to make time for and spend time with one another. They act on their intentions to become closer as they share in rituals like family meals, prayer, or other meaningful regular activities like celebrations, special occasions, and community involvement. In an intentional relationship, partners can make similar attempts in order for their love and relationship to be strengthened and for them to become closer to one another. They can do this as they establish and regularly practice meaningful rituals in their lives. They can go on a date, they can make a plan to always go on a date each week and do certain things, or go to a certain place that they both love, or of course have meals together. or go out and do work out in the community, things like that. Something that's really, it's ritualizing their relationship, and it's really important that they do that. I think that in this particular connection, it's meaningful to me because this sort of behavior in families, it's a foundation for, serves as a very steady foundation for healthy relationships and healthy families. Meaningful communication and interactions can't really occur if partners and family members aren't close enough or have enough time together, or meaningful time together really, to create those, or have opportunities to have those communications and interactions. And so I think it's important that teaching individuals to have intentional families and intentional relationships is essential for the relationship to be strong and resilient. In terms of recommendation, it really depends on the career that you want. If you're all about creating learning materials and delivering presentations, this is going to be a great fit for you, especially if you're going into being a family life educator. However, if you want to work in a different environment, look at the specific careers that you're looking to pursue after you graduate by looking at the job descriptions for those particular jobs. They'll often tell you what kind of experience they're looking for in potential candidates, which will usually require 6 months to 3 years worth of experience. And so you should really tailor your internship to the sorts of experiences that you really are going to need for those positions. I have found in my search for post-graduation job opportunities that I'm lacking experience in certain things that I otherwise, had I taken a different internship, I would actually have experience for. And so I can't apply for those jobs that I don't qualify, those jobs that I can't compete because I don't have that experience. And so it's really important to remember that sort of thing when you're considering an internship. It's also, another thing you have to consider is that this internship is unpaid and it's also very temporary. So you have to really consider whether you're going to invest 10 hours a week of your time or more into doing something that you're not making money off of, or you could follow up with an internship that's going to give you compensation. Not to mention, you would actually have your foot in the door with something that's a bit more long term. And so that's something that's really important as well to consider. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, I recommend this internship if you really need something that's just flexible and it's fairly simple and something that you can stay at home with. Like if you have kids at the house and you need to be a stay-at-home parent, then this is the internship for you, I think. So that's about it. All I got here is the contact information. You can contact the Dibble Institute like I did, which was through their contact tab on the Dibble Institute website, or you can contact Aaron Larson directly, and his email is aarondibble@sonic.net. It's just right there, AARON-DIBBLE@sonic.net. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Good luck on your internship search.